Welcome, wandering neuron. Tonight we drift beyond the edges of our tiny world, beyond the whispers of the atmosphere, beyond the reach of the moon, into a silence so vast that even thought begins to fade. There, between the stars, lies something most people never imagine, a secret architecture, invisible, yet holding everything together. A web, the cosmic web. A structure so immense that galaxies, entire galaxies, are just tiny beads strung along its invisible threads. And yet, it is as delicate as lace. The light we see, the dark we don't, all woven into one infinite fabric. If you've ever looked up at the night sky and wondered what holds all this together, this is your answer. Not gravity alone, not chaos nor chance, but a quiet order. An ancient geometry that hums through space and time. Let's begin at the beginning. Close your eyes if you wish. Let the universe breathe around you. Each breath a tiny echo of the cosmic expansion. Each heartbeat a rhythm in the grand pulse of existence. We're going to trace those hidden threads from the first moments of creation to the galaxies that drift like islands in the dark. And as we do, you may feel your mind slow, not because you were bored, but because you are sinking with the deep calm of the cosmos itself. Nearly 13.8 billion years ago, the universe was newborn, hot, dense, and blindingly bright. There were no galaxies, no stars, not even atoms as we know them. Just an ocean of energy, expanding outward in every direction. And as that ocean cooled, something remarkable began to happen. Tiny ripples appeared, imperfections in the cosmic sea. They were small, mere whispers of difference in density, but they were everything. Because those ripples would one day become everything we see, stars, galaxies, clusters, even you. These ripples came from quantum fluctuations, random tremors from the smallest scales of reality, frozen in place as the universe expanded faster than light. Imagine wrinkles in fabric that suddenly stretched to the size of a galaxy. Those wrinkles became the scaffolding on which all matter would gather. Over billions of years, gravity began to work its quiet magic. The slightly denser regions pulled more matter toward them, growing heavier, pulling still more, while emptier regions became vast voids. Matter, mostly dark matter, the mysterious invisible kind, started forming filaments, thin rivers of invisible mass stretching across unimaginable distances, connecting nodes of future galaxies. If you could see it then, it would look like a foggy mist, trembling and forming delicate threads across the void. Astronomers call it the large-scale structure of the universe, but you might think of it as a cosmic brain, neurons of galaxies connected by filaments of dark matter, each cluster a thought, each light a signal. And like your mind, it emerged from near nothingness, a spontaneous order from chaos. The universe was self-organizing, finding symmetry and pattern, all on its own. Even now, those patterns expand, slowly stretching as space itself grows. The web is still being woven, and in its quiet, there is beauty. The kind that doesn't demand only awareness.
For most of human history, we didn't know the web existed. We looked up at the stars and thought the universe was sprinkled with light, scattered randomly like dust across an endless night. But in the late 20th century, astronomers began to notice something strange. When they mapped galaxies, they weren't evenly distributed at all. Instead, they formed walls and filaments with vast voids between them, cosmic bubbles where almost nothing exists. One of the first hints came from the CFA redshift survey, where scientists measured how galaxies moved away from us. What they found was breathtaking, a pattern that looked less like random scatter and more like a sponge, dense lines of galaxies wrapping around empty pockets of space. Then came the Sloan Digital Skies Survey, which mapped hundreds of thousands of galaxies. When you look at their data, a three-dimensional slice of the universe, it looks like a living organism. Filaments connecting clusters, knots at intersections, and silent darkness in between. Some saw it as a structure of matter, others saw it as a mirror, perhaps even a reflection of the networks within our own minds. Is that a coincidence? Or could it be that patterns repeat from the neuron to the galaxy, as if the universe were made of self-similar code? Science says it's analogy, not proof, but still, the resemblance is haunting. And so, through telescopes and simulations, we finally began to see what had been hidden for so long: the threads of the cosmic web, glowing faintly in the darkness, holding everything together. Now, let your mind rest there. Picture those threads stretching endlessly. You are drifting between them, not as a body, but as awareness, weightless, timeless, floating through the silent architecture of the universe. Every filament hums with gravity's song. Every intersection shines with a galaxy's light, and in the spaces between, there is peace. Drift deeper now, into the invisible. When we gaze at the galaxies glowing across the night, we see only a fraction of what is truly there. Everything that shines, every star, every planet, every cloud of gas, adds up to less than 5% of the universe. The rest is hidden. The cosmic web itself, those vast filaments that shape where galaxies live and where they don't, is made mostly of something we cannot see: dark matter. It does not glow, it does not reflect. It passes through everything, even you, without leaving a trace. And yet, it sculpts the architecture of the cosmos. Imagine a ghostly skeleton made of gravity itself. Wherever dark matter gathers, ordinary matter follows, pulled like dust into invisible valleys. Galaxies are born along these dark ridges, lighting up the places where the web is densest. In simulations, scientists represent dark matter with countless particles, letting them flow under gravity's pull. What appears on the screen is hauntingly familiar: a luminous web sprawling across billions of light years, shimmering like frost on cosmic glass. Without dark matter, there would be no web, no galaxies, no stars, and perhaps no consciousness to wonder about it. It is the silent foundation of everything. Even now, dark matter surrounds you, passing through your body in a quiet river, as if you were part of the web yourself. In a way, you are. As you breathe, imagine those unseen threads stretching through your room, through the planet, through your mind. You are suspended within them, a momentary sparkle of awareness in an infinite network. Billions of years after the first filaments formed, gas began to cool and condense inside their intersections. Here, gravity grew strong enough to ignite light, to make stars. Where filaments met, clusters of galaxies emerged, massive cities of light bound by dark matter halos. Each cluster could contain thousands of galaxies, Each galaxy, hundreds of billions of stars. Each star, its own system of worlds. If we could fly across one of these filaments, we'd see strings of galaxies glowing like lanterns along a dark road. Between them, emptiness, silence. The galaxies themselves are not evenly spread. They gather where the threads knot, forming superclusters, like the Laniakea supercluster, the vast region that includes our own Milky Way. Picture it, our galaxy, a small swirl of stars, drifting along a filament of the cosmic web, like a leaf on a stream. We orbit a tiny corner of a structure stretching 500 million light-years across. And beyond that, more filaments, more webs, in every direction. Astronomers sometimes call this pattern the foam of the universe. Galaxies tracing the surfaces of bubbles, while inside the bubbles are cosmic voids, almost entirely empty. It's strange and beautiful. The universe is mostly nothing, yet from that nothing arises structure, connection, and light. Just as your mind finds meaning in the quiet spaces between thoughts, the cosmos finds beauty in its emptiness.
Let that image stay with you. The Milky Way, flowing along a luminous thread. Your world, your life, your breath, all hanging from one strand in a vast cosmic tapestry. Now we move into the spaces between the threads, the voids. They are immense, often hundreds of millions of light-years across, containing almost nothing at all. If the cosmic web is the fabric, the voids are its open windows, regions of pure stillness. For astronomers, they are both mystery and mirror. In the voids, expansion moves faster, matter is scarce, and time feels different, freer, lighter. To drift there would be to experience true silence. No stars, no planets, just the faint glow of distant galaxies, like dew on faraway threads. And yet, even the voids are not empty. Thin whispers of hydrogen drift there, faint and ghost-like, warmed by light from faraway quasars. Dark matter still passes through, invisible but present. Some scientists call voids the lungs of the universe, the spaces that allow the cosmic web to breathe. Without emptiness, structure cannot exist. Without stillness, there can be no movement. In that sense, the cosmic web teaches something quietly profound. Creation and emptiness are partners. The threads and the voids depend on each other, just as light needs shadow and consciousness needs silence. So as you listen, let your mind float between them, from the glowing filaments of galaxies to the vast calm of nothingness. You are both the thread and the void, both the light and the space that holds it. The universe is not still. Even now, as you lie here listening, the space between galaxies is quietly stretching. The threads of the cosmic web drift apart, slowly, almost imperceptibly. This expansion began in the first fraction of a second after the Big Bang, and it has never stopped. For billions of years, gravity pulled the web together, forming filaments, clusters, and galaxies. But now something else is taking over, an invisible force pushing everything apart. We call it dark energy. No one knows what it truly is. Perhaps the energy of space itself, or the whisper of quantum fields at cosmic scales. But we see its effect, galaxies slipping away faster and faster, as if the fabric of space were exhaling. From your perspective, here on Earth, the stars above look eternal.
But in truth, distant galaxies are fading into invisibility, carried beyond the cosmic horizon by expansion. Someday, only the faint light of our local galaxies will remain, all else lost to the infinite dark. And yet, this is not tragic. It is the universe's natural rhythm, a slow breathing out after an age of creation. Expansion brings distance, but also peace. Imagine floating between galaxies, feeling that drift, not as loss, but as release. Every movement stretching the fabric of space a little thinner, making the cosmos quieter, gentler, more still. The cosmic web expands like a dream dissolving into morning, and in that dissolution, there is beauty, a final serenity written into the very nature of existence. What will become of the web? You might wonder. What happens when the universe grows too wide, too thin, too cold for light to travel between its strands? The answer lies in time, deep time, so vast that even imagination trembles before it. Trillions of years from now, stars will die, galaxies will dim, the filaments that once glowed with life and energy will fade into darkness. Matter will drift apart, slowly disappearing into the silence from which it came. The cosmic web, this grand design that held everything together, will unravel, thread by thread, until only faint embers remain. But perhaps that, too, is part of the story. The web is not eternal because nothing in the universe is, except the pattern itself. It may die, but its memory will live in the laws that gave it form: gravity, motion, and time. Some scientists suggest that quantum fluctuations might someday spark a new expansion, a new cosmos, woven from the ashes of the old. A new web, new light, new minds to wonder. So maybe in another universe far from this one, someone will look up and dream of the same threads you do tonight, unaware that they too are part of the same endless pattern. And even if this web fades, the story it tells remains. That from darkness comes light, from chaos comes connection, and from silence comes the whisper of creation. Now let your awareness drift back, from galaxies to your breath, from the cosmic web to the space within you. Close your eyes and feel the rhythm of your body. The pulse of your heart mirrors the slow beat of distant stars. The breath you take echoes the expansion of the universe. You are not apart from the cosmos. You are made of it. Every atom in you was once dust in a star, drifting along a filament of the web. The iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, the oxygen in your lungs, all born in stellar cores that lived and died billions of years ago. You are, in the truest sense, a child of the cosmic web, a conscious thread woven into its infinite pattern. So when you rest, the universe rests with you. When you breathe, the cosmos expands a little further. And when you sleep, perhaps you will drift through those filaments once more, a traveler among galaxies, following the hidden threads that connect all things. Let your thoughts dissolve now, like galaxies receding into the quiet dark, each one slower, softer, fainter. The web holds you. The silence surrounds you, and the universe continues to hum ever so gently in its infinite sleep.